Hello Clashers, welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're not. My name is Prototype. Today we're going to talk about the new cards that are coming with this next update. So if you guys are hyped, be sure to hit that like button. This is crazy. So on the left, you guys can see that we have the Fire Spirit. Now this is one of the new cards that Supercell is going to add to the game. It is a common. I believe the next card that we have on here is a rare. That is actually a Fire Spirit spawner. Then the third card that we have in this picture on the far right there is actually called a guard. People thought he was going to be called the Skeleton Knight or something like that, the skeleton, whatever you want to call it, but he is actually called a guard and he is an epic card. Now here you guys can see the stats for the level 9 Fire Spirits. This isn't actually the max stats, of course, but this is the picture that I have to show you guys. 91 hit points, not very tanky whatsoever. They're very, very weak. As you can see, their movement speed is very fast, so they're similar to goblins. I would say they're actually closer to skeletons, but their attack type is extremely different. Now these guys do splash damage. As you can see, 169 area damage. That's really, really good. Now the way these guys work, they walk around in their little groups and they target anything. They can target land or air troops, whatever. And what they do is they just dive bomb into whatever they're targeting. So they literally just belly flop onto it and explode. This is really, really good. You could put them behind a giant to take out anything, maybe some of the smaller troops that are going to be trying to take out the giant. For example, you could take out a skeleton army with these guys. You could take out minions very, very well with these guys. They're definitely a very, very good troop. It's something very unique as well. I did not really expect to see anything like this that would completely just suicide when it attacked. It's a really cool idea, and I definitely like that they put this card into the game. Alright, next up we have the Furnace. This is the Fire Spirit spawner, as you guys can see. It costs 5 elixir, and it's just the same as any other kind of spawner. Now, 5 elixir is the same as what a Goblin Hut requires, so this is very similar to that. However, of course, their attack is very different, and of course the troops that it spawns, suicide. So there you guys can read all the stats. Pretty normal for a spawner, I would say. There's not really too much you can talk about this. Basically the same thing as the Fire Spirits, just more of them. Alright, on to the third card of the initial post by Supercell. We have the Guards. Now, as expected by the name Guards, and of course the massive shield that they're carrying, they do have the shield ability. As you can see there, the shield hit point is 199. That's pretty good. Other than that, they don't really have much health, so they can survive a really big hit from some of the tankier troops. Also, one that I'm going to talk about here soon enough. This one's actually a fairly good counter to that. So that is the stats for this guy. He's definitely a good one. Like I said, he's good for countering tough troops. Now, these guys are really, really similar to regular skeletons. Of course, they do have the shield, which helps them out with that, but these guys have the melee range. They, of course, have a faster movement speed, and of course, they're ground units as well. So like I said, they're extremely similar to the skeletons. Instead of dropping 4, you only drop 3 with this one, but they have the shield. So I would say they're quite a bit better and definitely worth 3 elixir instead of 1. Alright guys, so here we're going to get into the legendaries that are coming out with this next update. I hope you guys are excited. This is definitely the best part of this update. I'm so excited for it. So without further ado, let's get into the first legendary. So the first legendary I'm going to talk to you guys about is the Miner. Now this guy's really, really similar to the Goblin Barrel. However, he doesn't fly over the ground. He actually tunnels underneath the ground. So the cool part about this guy is that you can basically place him anywhere on the map. If you want to throw him onto your side, you can. If you want to throw him onto the other side, you can. You can actually see the trail underground from where he's digging, so you can kind of predict where it's going, but it's not exactly as predictable as the Goblin Barrel. It's a little bit different, but you guys can definitely still tell where he's going. Now let's go ahead and talk about his stats. As you guys can see, he's actually really, really tanky for the kind of troop that he is. He has quite a bit of health, over 1,400, and then if we go ahead and look at his damage per second, it's over 190 as well. That's really, really good. He attacks a little bit faster than once per second though, so he definitely is a better troop. Whether you're placing him against the tower or against some other troops, it'll work either way. Now this next troop here is something that everybody saw coming, the Lava Hound. It's very, very tanky, 4,000 health. That's ridiculous. His damage per second is fairly low. It's not really that good. He does attack quite fast, but he really doesn't do that much damage per hit, so he's not an amazing damage troop. He's more like the Golem. In fact, he's pretty much the same thing as a Golem except for an air troop. He's very good. He targets buildings, and once he dies, he splits into a bunch of little lava pups. So as you can see, the lava pups level are the same exact as the Hound itself. I'll go ahead and show you their stats. So here you guys can see the stats. They actually do quite a bit of damage. Their movement speed is medium, their attack speed is once a second, and they do a little bit more damage than the Lava Hound does per hit, so they're definitely going to dish out a lot more damage than you can with the Lava Hound. One of the strategies that I've seen is is once this guy dies, then you can throw out a rage spell on top of all of the little lava pups, and they can go to work on the tower. They do very, very well. The main problem is just getting the lava hound to the tower. He can get distracted by Teslas or any other kind of defensive card. Alright guys, moving on to the very last card in this reveal. It's definitely the best card that I've seen. It's very unique as well. It's a hard-hitting tank. Now when I say tank, this guy literally looks like a tank. His name is Sparky. He costs 6 elixir, which is actually fairly good. He's the most expensive legendary that we've seen, aside from, of course, the Lava Hound. They're both 6 elixir. So there you guys can see the hit points, 1,700. Not as tanky as the Lava Hound itself, but its damage, oh my goodness, damage per second, 379. Area damage per shot, almost 2,000. That's insane. Almost 2,000 damage per shot. Now its hit speed right next to that is once per 5 seconds. Its movement speed is slow, so it's definitely an extremely slow troop, but it does so much damage that you really don't have to worry about it. Now if you guys fight one-on-one with a Sparky, they can actually take each other out. So the first one to get the shot off is definitely going to defeat it, and it will hold a charge. It kind of has to charge up. You guys can see the coil. It will actually get brighter blue while it's charging, and it'll hold its charge closer to the point of each shot, so you don't really have to wait the full 5 seconds for it to hit each time. Now this means that you guys can take out a tower in 2 shots pretty much. 1,898 will be able to defeat the lower level towers very easily. Now, of course, I do want you guys to keep in mind that this is level 5. I believe the other legendaries I showed were level 5 as well, and lower level people aren't really going to have level 5 legendaries, so these stats are a little bit higher than what you might experience, especially when you first get these cards, but I do want to show you guys how crazy they actually are. So that's going to be the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Leave a like if you're excited for these new cards. I definitely am, even though I probably won't get legendaries. I just really want to see these guys in action. They look super cool. So be sure to leave a comment letting me know which one of the new cards is your favorite and which one of the legendaries you guys are going to buy once they're in the shop. Like I said, hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all later.